This is Dr. Rob Cywes. I am the Carb Addiction Doc, and today, this is a very special day for me. I may even break out into tears right now because, as most of you know, I've had a lifelong struggle with obesity. And a little while ago, about 6 months ago, I was recruited by a group out of Sweden. And actually, it is a combination study that was done as a multi-center study. It was done, led by a group out of Sweden. We'll speak more about them. And they used The Ohio State University. As you can see there, proudly displayed, The Ohio State University. And as those of you that know me, I'm a Michigan guy, but I have changed allegiance to The Ohio State based on this wonderful, wonderful study. But I was recruited about 6 months ago because of my role as the Carb Addiction Doc and my knowledge of metabolic health and my work in weight loss to study a new device, a new mechanism of weight loss. And this research was conducted at The Ohio State University. And folks, I can tell you that in the last 6 weeks, I personally have lost 27 pounds. 27 pounds by doing absolutely nothing except this one thing. Now, you know, I'm not sensationalist. I'm not crazy in that way. I believe in hard work. And when these guys recruited me, it was just absolutely nuts, absolutely crazy. But let's go through this, because the answer that I have from a science background that this really, really works, I'm personal living proof. Places where I could not do well, this has worked. And the answer might surprise you. But these guys came to me as my heritage is South African, and a collaborative effort between Ohio State University, a group in Stockholm, Sweden, and a mining group in South Africa had discovered black platinum. Now, most of you have never heard of black platinum. Platinum should be silver colored, but they discovered black platinum. And between the engineering group, the engineering faculty at Ohio State, and the medical group, the metabolic medical group at in Sweden, they created what I am wearing right here. Folks, these are magnetic earrings made of black platinum from my home country, South Africa. And I blew it off. I poo-pooed it. And I said, come on, guys, this cannot be true. And they said, okay, let's do the experiment. You're from South Africa. You are the Carb Addiction Doc. Do the experiment. And I skeptically put on these earrings. And as you can see, they're made of black platinum. And I've been wearing them for exactly 6 weeks, 27 pounds. No changes, no diets, no gimmicks, nothing. Didn't change a single thing. Didn't change a single thing. 27 pounds. To the point that everybody in my office is now wearing these. And they are manufactured individually at the engineering department of Ohio State University. There's a particular lab that I've been associated with. And how do these ear magnets work? Well, part of it comes from the Chinese acupressure and acupuncture. You know that they're big into acupuncture, and as a Western medicine doctor, I always blew that off. But traditional Chinese medicine has used points on the ear to simulate certain channels in the body. And at first I heard this and but you know, folks, as a Western trained biologist, as a Western trained physician, I recognized that the vagus nerve, which is the nerve that runs out of the neck, through the ears, down the neck, controls the entire chest, controls heart rate, controls lungs, controls breathing, controls the gut. You've heard of the vagus nerve, controls the stomach, controls the entire intestine, causes those contractions. The vagus nerve, very, very close to its exit from the body, is very, very tightly regulated and controlled by certain pressure points and certain nerves around the ears. And these magnetic seeds or magnetic ears place pressure on those nerves. Now, several different magnet types have been out there. They've been gimmicks. They've been tried. But the key thing that this group in Sweden did, they're neuroscientists, they're metabolic neuroscientists, and they found that within the axon of nerves, there's a particular molecule, you may have heard of it, it's called molybdenum. And molybdenum lives in the axons, and it's a heavy metal, and molybdenum combines with trace elements. When it's combined with trace elements of black platinum, it triggers the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is that nerve that sends satiety signals from the belly to the brain, slows the heart rate down, slows the gut down. And in fact, when you stretch up the stomach by eating, it's the vagus nerve that sends signals back to the brain that says you're full. Well, what the combination of molybdenum and platinum, black platinum, does when it stimulates the upper nerve pressure points in your ear, it fools the brain by short-circuiting the vagus nerve. Instead of the vagus nerve going from the belly back to the brain, it short circuits by triggering these nerves in the ears. And folks, I just haven't eaten. I've hardly eaten. Of course, I drink my coffee, but I've hardly eaten anything. I feel full. I take my electrolytes, I take my minerals and my vitamins, and I have lost 27 pounds in 26 weeks. And folks, if you think this is crazy, here's a paper, here's an article I have from let's see, what journal is this? It's the Journal of Metabolic Medicine, published in Stockholm, Sweden. It was published just last week, and that's why I'm able to talk about this. Just last week, and it is a meta-analysis, including scientists from the Ohio State University, and the lead author is a guy by the name of Loof. He's a Swede from Sweden. He works with the Metabolic Neuroscience Division in Stockholm, and they published a meta-analysis of black platinum ear magnets and weight loss. These studies were done in multiple centers, and our practice was fortunate to be one of those studies. And I'll tell you what, they absolutely work. Don't just trust me. Everybody in my office, the 40 patients that we were able to recruit through the study over the last 3 months, every one of them has demonstrated significant weight loss. But here's the key, without changing a thing. I know magic sounds, and you know me well enough. I believe in hard work. I don't do magic. This is absolutely incredible, folks. And it works through that vagus nerve signaling. Now, while this is not available in the US because the FDA and a variety of others have to patent, and it has to be patented and then approved by the FDA, these magnetic earrings are available in Canada. In Canada. My old stomping grounds, I spent several years, almost a decade, doing my PhD right there at the University of Toronto. And because Canada's laws are much more lax when it comes to new scientific developments than the US, these magnets are now available through the University of Toronto, collaboration with The Ohio State University. And you can purchase these black platinum earrings, and they come in a couple of different shapes for different ears. Okay, I'm wearing the medium ears. If you can see, my earlobes are large, are fairly large, but I'm wearing the medium, not the large. If you have pierced ears, it has to be a different setup. They've done the science, they've done the research. But these are available. They're expensive, but not nearly as expensive as some of the devices and surgeries. And the bottom line is, when you put them on, they work. And once you take them off, you stabilize your weight, and then you put them on as you need to. You bump up 5 pounds, you can put them on again. And the research is absolutely astounding. So I would urge you to do this. The University of Toronto, if you look in the show notes down below, you'll see the address. They are expensive, but they're not bank breakers. The retail price in Canada in Canadian dollars is 350 Canadian dollars. And together with that, they will size them, they will size match them for you, and you can purchase these from the site down below, very legitimate, through the University of Toronto. Please, 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 don't just go online. You can buy miracle earrings on the internet. We've tested those. We've compared them to the black platinum earrings. Those are wallet biopsies, folks. They don't work. You can buy them for 28 bucks on Amazon. And, and the disclaimer is always, these work together with a diet and exercise program. Well, okay, so what's the placebo effect? We've tested that. The meta-analysis that Loof has published just this past week looks at the comparative analysis, a prospective randomized control trial. And we've got all the statistics in there. We've got all the graphics in there. It is absolutely incredible. And this is going to revolutionize weight loss. Goodbye Mounjaro, goodbye Ozempic, goodbye keto, goodbye low carb. I can tell you I ate what the hell I wanted to, and I still lost 27 pounds. And I'm going to keep losing weight. So go to the show notes, go to the University of Toronto, and order and buy these. Now, at the moment, all of these are for a charitable contribution, because not only do they help with weight loss, but obviously as you lose weight, your diabetes gets better. So we have a company called New Era Diabetes Solutions, which is in the US, a charitable organization, as it is in Canada, and all of the proceeds, once the cost of the black platinum has been paid to the mining group in South Africa, all of the proceeds go to this charitable organization. But don't believe me, try them and let me know. Okay, over time, leave comments and let me know. I'm just astounded. I hope this has value. I am the Carb Addiction Doc. Leave comments down below. See you next time.